Hi, Kristian. I hope this finds you well. Just looking at what you did today, it looks like you missed your work sets on everything except the deadlift. So um, things apparently got pretty heavy for you. So I'm going to look at your program and I may have to reset some stuff. I'm happy to hear that you might have access to a squat rack in both gyms. Um, it really would be for the best. It's excellent that you bought those change plates. Um, and as for your question, um, these are what we call specific warm-ups. In other words, specific warm-ups for the exercise that you're performing. For general warm-ups, I just like people to do maybe just a few minutes of very light warm up on the stationary bike. If you want to use foam rollers, that's fine. If you want to use the treadmill, just a few minutes of light work on the treadmill, that's fine. We actually don't recommend stretches in the starting strength system based on some research. Most of the research is pretty clear that stretching doesn't really help you with your lifts. And in fact, it may even be detrimental. So we really don't recommend stretches. If you think about it, the exercises, when they're performed properly, are sort of stretches in themselves. But this other stuff is fine. So let's go ahead and take a look at your squats. Maybe. There we go. Uh, would have been better if the camera was down here right under your feet. I know setting up the camera can be a pain in the butt, but the more I can see, the better. That wasn't too bad. If you look at what's happening here, you can sort of see where your knees are relative to the uprights on the squat rack. That was about where your knee should have stopped, right there. You see the tip of your knee right here. And that's kind of where it should have stopped. Maybe a little bit more forward than that would be fine. There it is. That's a good position for your knee. This is a pretty good back angle. Let's see what happens to your knee position and your back angle as you hit the bottom. And you can see that as you're going into the bottom, your knee slides forward. So in other words, the vertical movement of your hips is instead being wasted and transmitted into this knee slide forward. So instead of going deep, you're going forward. So this is a little bit of a problem. It's one that we can fix if we can get a foam roller or a block of wood. You can read about the foam roller and read about the block of wood, the terribly useful block of wood or 2-bow. If this problem persists, what we can do is we can put any sort of upright stationary object just in front of your toes so that you touch your knees to it, but they don't pass any further than that and they don't knock it over. To train you to keep your knees tight at the bottom and not let them float forward at the bottom of the squat so that you can get deeper and more hip drive and more benefit from the exercise. The depth on this is pretty questionable, but that's really good hip drive and a good back angle out of the hole. Let's see what happens on this next one. So you can see the same thing there again. There you are. Hang on. About a third of the way down. So your knees should already be forward. You wouldn't want to get them any much more forward than where the cursor is right now. I hope you can see that. And then they stay pretty stable, but as you approach the hole, the knees slide forward. Not as bad as in the other one, but they are still sliding forward. Your depth might be a tiny bit better there, but this leg should be angling downward, and your hip crease right here should instead be there. All right, so we need a little bit more depth on these. Sit back, bury it, and keep your knees tight at the bottom. Reach back with the squat. See what happens on this rep. Yeah, that's high. And like you say, I think you're tired and you're a little bit out of gas. I want you to, the next time you work out, I want you to film a warm-up set or two for me so I can see what's going on at the weight that's more manageable for you. All right, let's look at your press. This is one where you missed a rep. Elbows in front, a little bit more than that. I think you probably might need a little tiny bit narrower grip. You're doing better with the knees there, Kristian. That's good. A strong, hard shrug at the top. That's pretty good. Reach a little higher with it. Get those elbows in front. Yeah, I can tell by looking at this right here. See, this forearm is not going to be, this forearm I can see in the mirror is not vertical, right? So the grip, and I can also see that your knuckle here is outside the shoulder. I need you to bring the grip in just a little bit tighter. You'll get more power out of the hole that way. I'm pleased that you're keeping your knees tighter. The top position looks pretty good overall. The timing of the movement is pretty good. And it just got heavy. So we may have to reset that. Yeah, deadlifts are hard. That they are. Which sort of is the reason why we do them. Hips are high, that's good. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, you're still doing this thing where you want to lean way back at the top. You don't have to lean back, you just have to lift the chest. And then the other thing you have to do at the top is you have to straighten those knees out, and that's better than last time. All right? A little heavy on your toes there, I think, but these are improved. Big giant breath. Hips high, that's right. Set the back hard, that's good. I want that bar to come straight up over the middle of the foot. Big giant breath. Hips should be a little higher than that. And your back got a little soft on that last one. All right. So things have gotten a little bit heavy. We're going to have to be careful about our programming. I sense that there may be a reset coming. So I'm going to take a close look at your program and double check your programming the next time you see it. This is not a setback. This is just how we move forward. So nice work, good effort. I'm going to make adjustments to your program, and I will see you next time. In the meantime, get some rest and make sure you're getting your protein, plenty to eat, lots of meat, good hydration, good sleep, all those recovery factors dialed in. They make a difference. Talk to you soon, Kristian.